Here we are. Happy New Year, world.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year. How's everyone? How's everyone's week going? How's your year going? Hey, here we are. Welcome to our chat and sip
It's our chat.
2021.
Yes, 2021. Here we go. First chat and sit for the year. So we're going to say cheers.
Cheers. Oh, what is that? Wait a minute. Let me get a better look. Having some electric lemonade. Shout out
Yes.
to Simply Lemonade.
Yes.
You have some great products. We love it.
Yep.
Last time we had the Poland Springs, we wanted a little sweetness. New year, new vibe.
Yes. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
cheers to that.
Mm-hmm. It's so tasty. Well, so where should we start? Well. There's so much to talk about. Like basically tonight's episode is gonna focus on, what's going on, what's new in 2021. We're basically a month in, a few days in, well, 2 months now, we're into the second month, but a month and a few days into February. We know Groundhog Day happened
Yep.
yesterday, so yes, we're gonna have the 6 more weeks of winter.
Uh,
We knew that.
yeah.
Poor Poxitani didn't want to come out. He was definitely
Yep.
like, "Hey, put me back. It's
Yeah.
cold. All that snow."
Yeah. He said, I want to go back in. Put me
Yes.
back.
And, of all times, it was all that big snow that happened, that nor'easter. If everybody, on the East Coast, from Boston to New York, DC, all those areas, even the Midwest, I hear got hit really hard. New Jersey, I mean, you name it. So, hopefully everyone's okay and safe from that. That was just kind of off the cuff, but had to mention it because that's happened this year already. So, what's next, right?
Yep.
But let's start by talking about the vaccines. Now, we want to hear what everyone's thinking about the vaccine. I mean, usually when you hear vaccine, that sounds like a good thing, right? I think so.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hesitation. I mean, I think this coronavirus COVID-19 vaccine, a lot of speculation that will it work? Like people are like, anxious. People have so much on their mind and so many emotions.
COVID-19
And it's like at this point, you know, people are either scared or some people are excited. They're like, okay, if anything, you know, we want to get back to the new, well, not the new normal,
Yep.
but the old normal, not this new normal, with the masks and the social distance and lack of all these fun events that we used to all be able to attend and, go places. So I know they have, what is it, Pfizer, Moderna, and now Johnson& and Johnson's supposed to be coming out with one. Now, I have my own thoughts, but I'd like to hear more about what other people have to say, and your reasons, like why or why not, would you get the vaccine? I mean, we respect everyone's reason because it's valid. I mean, at this point, it's something new, and none of us have experienced this in recent times. Something this new, you know, wow, that it seemed like it's rushed. People think that, and it was quick. I mean, for me, it's like, oh my god, it wasn't even a full year.
Yeah, that was definitely like a all hands on deck situation also because there's definitely a worldwide pandemic here.
For real. So for me, it was like, okay, let's just see what this is about. So, they're doing it, of course, in different phases, like depending on the state. And we're talking about the US, everyone, if you haven't seen. So we have the US flag up and, we have our hats and all that good stuff. But here in the US, it seems like each state kind of has their own way of doing it, like, phase one, and there's like A, B, and C, or different parts to each phase. And it's like 3 phases. And they're trying to roll it out, I hear, basically between, well, January, supposedly it started, well, late December, I guess, but through June, like the goal is to have majority of, the United States, if they can, vaccinated. Like President Biden said, I guess, 100 million doses in his first 100 days, which is an aggressive goal, but it's good. I like
Aggressive.
it. I think that's possible. I mean, come on, U.S., let's get it together. All hands on deck. Get the Wartime Production Act. All these things can happen. Get those syringes. Get everything in place. Get the staff. I think that's realistic. We're talking about 50 states here. I mean, 1 million people. That's nothing. I mean, some states have cities with more than 1 million people.
Yeah, and I think we could definitely, get it done. Let's put it into this pandemic. So
For real.
get back to traveling like we want to, cruising.
Yes. So, yeah, that's one thing. So, like, I guess, well, I'm just going to jump ahead and just say how I feel. I think it's a really good idea, but at the same time, I'm very hesitant, and especially with the vaccines, being 3 different companies with basically 3 different instructions, if you will, like, ways to maintain it. I mean, you have this, Pfizer, the first one out with like this minus 94-degree temperature required. Like, what is that? That leaves me like, that's weird. I mean, some super Arctic type, vaccine. So I'm like, that's different. Then the other one, Moderna didn't have to be in that cold of a condition. And it's also, I think, 28 days as opposed to Pfizer was 21. And both of them are about 95% effective. Like the efficacy rate is pretty high. And then you have Johnson Johnson talking about one dose, as opposed to those who have, like I said, those other two were 2 doses, where it's like only what's that percentage? Maybe 60 something,
Yeah,
maybe
it says
percent.
65%
Yeah.
efficacy, but it says 100% or 99% positive for not having severe COVID.
Yeah, where you don't want to be in the hospital, they're saying on a
Yeah.
respirator. I guess that's what they're saying, that like if you were to contract it, your symptoms would be mild, which is also beneficial.
Yeah.
So at first I'm like, only 65%, but I'm like, you know what, that may not be the worst. I mean, at this point, like you definitely don't want to end up in the hospital,
Yeah.
or passing away or anything like that for sure. But the issue is that, for us, it's just a matter of what we think. Like I said, and I say we as a people, anyone. I mean, I know that I've heard, there are a lot of people, like I said, that are like, I don't know, and all of that. And some of it's because of history and bad experiences that they've heard about other situations in the past, or their own personal beliefs, or like I said, the fear that it was maybe rushed and like, the unknown, they don't know enough about it. And I'm kind of all those things. But luckily at this point, I have time to see how things go. I mean, clearly I'm not in the 75 and up group, not the 65 and up either, but so I have a ways to go anyways. Wouldn't be before the spring, early summer, where I'd have to make up my mind. So definitely over the next few months, I'm going to kind of stay tuned to all the details and, go with the flow and see, how people are doing with their side effects. Like they say, if you have severe allergies, of course you want to consult with your doctor and be, mindful of that, because there had been some issues overseas with people having like allergic reactions where things were tough. And then of course, I guess we've heard even some people have passed away.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you hear that, I don't know. So again, it's something to think about. I'm not saying it's the worst thing, but I'm not saying, run out and get it without being informed or like doing some homework first. Check in with your doctor. Everyone's health history is different. Everyone's
if you carry
situation is different.
if you carry an EpiPen, definitely check with your doctor first, because that's if you have those type of severe allergies. He said definitely want to check with your doctor and make sure that this is going to be safe for you.
For sure. It's electric. Inspiring. This alone. I mean, this is, wow. It's really good.
Yeah, it's like refreshing.
Oh my God, it is. It feels like a summer day, even though it feels like minus, no, not really. I won't say minus 50, but
definitely cold
out. Especially cold, snow, winter time. But yeah. So, but yeah, that's how, we're thinking. So again, think about it. And if you have something else to add, keep us posted. Let us know. Hit us up.
Hit us up in the comments. If you're in the replay crew,
either
hit us up. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Yes, tell us. And I guess I want to kind of, after that, like, I mean, of course, you can bring us back if there's any questions in the interim, but I want to kind of move on to another topic. Guys, guess what this is? Oh my God. I guess I'm going to say it. Okay, what the hell happened with this insurrection on the Capitol? What was that about? When was
January
that?
6th.
Oh, I'll never forget that date. I want to pretend that didn't happen. Something out of the Twilight Zone. You hear me? Something like, what? That looked like, I mean, listen, I was busy, hard at work per the usual. And I see this, I see, what? It looks like something out of a movie. I thought that I was on the set of something like the new action-packed movie. I was waiting for The Rock or somebody to be, on set. Kevin Hart, somebody. I said, what is this?
Coming to save the day. Like,
I thought this was this new hot, like, new movie or something. But I'm like, oh, wow, this is live? This is happening in the USA? In our country over some nonsense, because some people are upset that there's a new administration that, yes, the new administration, first of all, won that election fair and square. So there was no fraud and all this other stuff. The only fraud was what happened, was what happened at that Capitol, where people were bugging and forgot themselves, come out there, act a fool. Okay, that's what the fraud was, because if you were really patriotic and American, that wouldn't happen. That's not how Americans behave. People are saying, oh, these different groups and all that. you know, you're supposed to be spreading love, not hate. What's wrong with you? You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's crazy. He lost, he lost. I mean, hell, Hillary won that last election, popular vote and everything.
Yeah.
Nobody came out and, you know, created a ruckus on the Capitol or anywhere else because
Yeah.
nobody was going to do that. I mean, even
Yeah.
if things don't happen fairly, take the high road for a chance. I mean, be
Yeah.
an adult. That was just immature
Yeah.
and ignorant.
They took the loss. No, suck it up. There's no, maybe you got to work better the next time.
Exactly. And, you know, you can't sit there and incite a riot either. I mean, just because you lost. Because, like I said, even though, oh, you know, people are saying, you know, he's not responsible, which I'm gonna get to that impeachment. Oh, yeah, he is. I mean, listen, he told them to fight like hell, or else you're not gonna have a country. Basically, if you're weak, you're not gonna go nowhere.
He said, march down to that Capitol. We're going to march down to that Capitol.
Yeah, I'll be there right with you. Yeah.
And you know where he was at?
He was nowhere in sight. He had set that up, set people up. His whole thing, from what I've observed over the last 4 years, he likes to prey on a lot of people who are vulnerable. It's almost like this cult. And he likes to radicalize them. Like people talked about, oh, people radicalized with Al Qaeda and all that. Oh, no. This was no different. This was homegrown terrorism, right? Same shit. I'm sorry.
Homegrown.
Yes, it was awful. So, you know, that was something that definitely blew my mind. And I hope something like that will never happen again.
No, especially not in the U.S.
No,
That's
I mean,
embarrassing.
it was very embarrassing. And what happened there, I mean, it was like, you know, here it was, they were trying to just, you know, certify the election results. I think they named, what was it, Arizona, and some objections happened. Oh, hell broke loose.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, what? I never will forget that moment. It was like, I was in total shock, disbelief. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't believe what had happened. I was trying to replay all that in my head. I'm like, you know, is that even possible in this country? Was this the USA? What? Did I wake up somewhere else? Or like, you know, I don't know. So it's like at this point, people, like, honestly, get it together. Like, you don't have to love Biden. I'm not pressuring anybody, or we're not saying, hey, you know, you like who you like. If you like Trump, that's fine too. We don't hate you. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
You know, Democrat, Republican, at the end of the day, who cares? We're all people. We have, just like people like music. Somebody may like hip hop, somebody may like rock. Who cares? You know, people like who they like. I'm not opposed to that. Gay, straight, sexual orientation doesn't matter to us. You know, people may like taller people, short. It's all the same. But you know what? We're all humans and need to respect and understand that it's okay to be different. But you don't sit there and, you know, mistreat someone because they're different or have a difference of opinion. So that's how, you know, that came about. I was just like, wow, this Capitol. I mean, and the poor, you know, Capitol officer, may he rest in peace. You know, of course, we saw that he was lying in state today. I mean, it was just so sad that something like that would even happen. You know, and these people came there like they were ready for war. I mean, to overtake the police, huh? Who does that? Broke in. And, let's talk about some of the footage. I don't remember the names because they weren't important. These people definitely meant nothing except made themselves look ignorant and now have criminal records and are in trouble. But, you know, footage of people sitting at Pelosi's desk, this dude, whatever, he was a trip. And then some other people, you know, with these signs and trying to sell a laptop to the Russians. Who does that? I mean, you have to be a genius. And I say that condescending because you're an idiot. Who does that? Someone who's looking to get into trouble, I guess. And these people, you know, were trying to show out even some of the big names. It wasn't just, you know, if you want to say people that were marginalized. This was people like in politics, other people, firefighters, whatever. Everybody came out there and acted a fool and lost their jobs. People got beat down. I mean, I'm not talking about the police, but different people there. Someone else, you know, was shot trying to act a fool. I mean, come on. You know, and some of these people were veterans. How dare you? You serve this country, but you're trying to destroy it? Did you forget yourself an oath or what? I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, the same country you're going to protect, you're going to sit there and tear it down.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense, huh?
Yeah,
I know.
That was crazy.
That was a day. So I guess I want to talk more about this impeachment. The question is, to impeach or not to impeach is the question. No, but for real, like, honestly, the whole probe before with Mueller and all that was one thing. Okay. That's neither here nor there. That's over with. You know, they chose not to convict. Okay, I give that a pass. But there's no pass in the world. This insurrection, like everyone says, if that is not an impeachable offense, I don't know what is.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I mean, if
about
that's
that.
the point, you can get away with anything, maybe even murder.
Yeah, well, he did say when he first came to office, I can walk down Fifth Street and murder somebody.
That's deep. And the fact that, yeah,
Now it basically almost happened in the Capitol.
for real. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, I believe not only that's good, but the whole impeachment process is going to be starting, but he needs to be convicted. And like I said, he could be a Democrat, it could be anybody.
Yeah,
You got to stir up this drama and, like I said, basically have a radicalized cult. You need to be impeached, and not only impeached, you need to never be able to hold any type of political office, not just president, anything related to, you know, whether a governor, none of that ever again in this country, because you are a disgrace. And I'm not just saying that by a matter of opinion. If you're going to act like that and, go against the Constitution and everything else, the whole plan is to protect the country before the people, not about yourself, not about this is a photo op or this is, um, me trying to care only about me. It's just like our new administration president said, hey, I'm here for everybody, those who supported me and those who didn't. That's just like Team Mods 2K. We're here to, be here whether people like us or not. That's okay. That's your opinion. You don't have to like us. You don't have to watch the sale. They're garbage. That's your call. We don't mind because, everyone's entitled to an opinion. But, we're here for those either way if they change their mind or those who from the jump say, we like them. So cool. Whatever, side you're on, that's fine. But that's basically what it boils down to. You cannot sit here and incite a riot and think that's okay. Because what type of, I guess what I'm saying, what is that showing to our young people in this country? Come on. Like he's what, 70 something? I mean, no, it's just not okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, well, if I don't get my way, I'm just gonna force my way onto people, make people fight for me, even though I could be dead wrong.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely not cool. So you want to, think about that, people. Think before you act. I mean, a lot of times, honestly, everyone gets mad, and that makes sense. I mean, and no one likes to lose. I mean, I just, I can't even imagine that, someone would. I mean, the Super Bowl's coming up, and I'm sure Tom Brady's hoping to win his 7th ring, and yet Patrick Mahomes is hoping to two-peat. So guess what, though, guys? One of them will lose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the life, and I understand. I feel bad for both of them in a sense because someone's gonna lose.
Yeah, because they made it this far,
and then only to lose. This big hoopla and all of that. But that's just life. You win or you lose some, and that's in the game. And whether it's football, whether it's an election, whether it's a contest, whether it's a spelling bee, hey, that's just how life is. And like I said, everybody, at some point will win. Everyone will lose. I've definitely had my share of both.
Yeah.
I'm not anybody to act like, oh, I always win. Not even. Trust me.
As they say, even if you lose, you're still learning a lesson. So you still come out a winner.
Good point. Yeah, lesson learned. Because you know what? If it is a mistake, you say, oh, I don't want to make that one again. I've learned something. It's made me a better person. It taught me, how to handle a situation better. That's all good.
So even if you lose, you still win.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah. And like I said, we can take any questions shortly if anyone has any additional ones in the chat. But just want to move on quickly to talk about the inauguration now, because basically we're, like I said, recapping the year, like how January started through now. The Biden and Harris inauguration. So first of all, it kind of leads back to the Capitol. What was that about where they had to have the National Guard in like it was a war? I mean, they said there were more people there for National Guard on deck than in war countries like, was it Iraq and Afghanistan?
Yeah, that was
what's that?
Disturbing. Very disturbing.
Very disturbing. There's no reason. I mean, of course, you always have to have Secret Service protection. That's just how it works. Okay, no matter what.
That's normal.
That's normal. In a pandemic, you had all that? That's triple that normal. That's just gone. I mean, that was so sad. I mean, I was so upset and saddened, and I'm like, oh my God, Biden comes in. And this is what he's coming into, and the fact that everybody was worried, because of the chaos that had happened 2 weeks prior, that there was grounds to be worried. But it's so sad, and someone, going around who does that too, there's going to be threats on the Capitol and all. Excuse me, that's even oh man, that's just ignorant. Definitely uncalled for. It's not something that I would be proud of and say that I'm an American, because that's not
Yeah.
an American-like behavior.
No,
Um,
one thing's pandemic, but because of scared of another insurgency.
Yeah, that's a problem. We can't have that. So it's like, I'm glad that his inauguration went smoothly. Biden and Harris, they looked great. They came in there, took their oath. It had as much normalcy as they could in the pandemic. That already, I mean, was enough that, like, okay, the National Mall was not like its typical full of people would have been.
Oh
But with the
yeah,
pandemic, of course, you don't want a super spreader. So
right.
it made sense to have it, more low key the way it was. It was
Yeah,
very nice.
it was just the media and the
Hmm.
security.
Hmm. And a few people, obviously, political figures and
Yeah,
such, like, it's tradition to have the former presidents. So it was really nice to see, George Bush, President Clinton. I say president because
yeah, yeah,
President Bush, President Clinton, even though they're not anymore, but former presidents, and
yeah,
President Obama, former
yeah,
President Obama. It was really nice to see them there, all unified, chatting, and, like,
yeah.
everybody looks polite
Democrat,
and happy.
Republicans.
No one cared. They were people. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, they all came as people.
you're right.
I would have loved to have been there, but
Yeah,
I didn't get the invite, not yet.
yeah,
I was busy anyways. Yeah, so about that, yeah, everyone was in unison. And then, usually they have at that point, besides like and poor former President Carter couldn't make because he's sick and very elderly, and we understand that. Like I said, he
yeah.
sent a letter. Of course, he's a respectable gentleman. But fast forward, so we got past President Obama. So what happened to number 45? Why was he not there?
Yeah.
Was he not a president? Well, I'm gonna stay quiet on that one. Let me sip this lemonade.
Like I said, yeah, only the former presidents came, and like I said, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, because that's absurd. If there was a president that was just basically in the office basically on the same day, if you will, like early that morning, like taking up residency.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, that already was disturbing. I mean, like they said, it'd been what back in the 1800s, like throwback years that someone had pulled some stunt like that. Once again, I mean, talk about, I'm sorry, but that was a sore loser. I'm not going to concede. Like I said, you didn't have to. The writing was on the wall, honey. It's over.
Yeah, that's like 2016 to 2020 was like this void.
Yeah, it went from like 44 to 46.
Yeah.
Yes, we have President Biden now. So let's talk about President Biden. Even though people say, oh, he was in the Senate for 40 something years, what did he do? Well, apparently he did a lot before, he even became the VP for President Obama, which he did a lot there too. So he definitely has, regardless, hate it or love it, some wisdom and experience to offer, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that alone, I mean, someone who's been a VP, if they, especially for 8 years, which a lot of people, don't even make their 2 terms as presidents, but 8 years, he has some type of experience that would make him qualified to be the president. Facts. Like, that's just how I would see it. I mean, it wasn't like he came in, like they got this guy and like, oh, he was part of Ring Brother Barnum Bailey Circus. Let's just reel him in. He had no experience. He was just this clown. And nothing against the clowns. I love clowns, but just saying. So in any event, that's where I'm at. Like, I think for him, he had the upper hand there. So let's give him a chance. Like he said, give me a chance, And so far, I think he's done well. I mean, starting with the mandates with the mask for the coronavirus.
Yeah.
We need to keep masked up.
Yeah. Get through this.
Yes.
Mask up.
I mean, remain, out on the prize. The prize is to get rid of this coronavirus and hopefully get back to normal, the old normal.
Yeah.
But if you keep spreading it, it's got, and now these variants, that's the other thing. They're going to keep coming and coming and coming. It's a gift that keeps on giving, but in a bad way.
I'm going to return that gift to sender.
Yes, big time. Nobody wants that. So it's like, just do the basics. Wash your hands, socially distance, whatever you got to do. Yes, wash those hands. Socially distance.
Yeah. Well,
luckily we're together all the time, so we're in each other's bubble.
Yeah. We're in our bubble.
Yes. So, but if you're not in the bubble, then don't share, that experience. Definitely you have to be real careful. And, that's just it. You definitely want to make sure that, you stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
So President Biden is on to something with those masks. He said at least for 100 days. Yeah, that will cut down. I mean, like you said, save lives. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of lives that have already been lost, right?
Mhm.
And now, I mean, what close? It's got to be what upper 400 at this point. So like, that's ridiculous. These are people. This isn't just like, oh, that's another number. No, these are people's lives that are gone, and won't be back. So it's so sad. So we don't want to keep adding to the list of, well, another life lost because this person didn't wear a mask. Really?
Yeah.
So no, you get on that train or bus, you wear a mask. If you want to get on the plane and feeling gutsy, you wear your mask. Because
Yeah,
right now,
it's a requirement.
yeah, it's a requirement. It's mandated on federal property. You wear that mask.
Yeah.
And it's good. I'm so happy. I've been wanting this. Oh man,
Yeah,
since
it
it
needs
first hit.
Yeah, some true
Almost a year.
guidance.
We need some guidance, yeah, to try to tackle this. Who'd have thought we had war with a virus?
Yeah.
And this is a world war, y'all. This is not just a U.S. war. This is everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially these variants coming from Brazil, UK, South Africa, and everywhere else.
Yeah. So
Oof, I don't know, but it's awful.
yeah, so like I said, keep saying wash those hands, mask up.
Socially distance.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in crowds like we know this weekend, y'all. The Super Bowl is
Yeah,
coming
so
up.
do it safe.
Do it safe with your bubble
Mhm.
and stay home and watch it on TV. Turn up in your house, like whoever
Yeah.
you're with and live with.
Get your lemonade.
Yep, lemonade, whatever you want. Sip on something.
Mhm.
And watch it at home.
Mhm.
Or if you want to go out, maybe to a restaurant, obviously in a safe setting, maybe you just say it's you and couple brothers if you live in a house or however you live, your husband, wife, whatever it is. Yeah, you can go out to a restaurant, safe, like keep you socially distanced with the seating and check it out. But you have to be careful. No super spreader. Like, even though I don't even necessarily agree with the Super Bowl having all these people, you said it's gonna be how many there?
I think they said about 25,000 people. at
That's
the-
a lot. In Tampa at that stadium,
like all.
I don't
even though
know.
there's supposed to be nurses and nurses who have been vaccinated.
Yeah, no,
are
but it's
supposed to
just
be there.
yeah, but it's a little
So,
sketchy. I just can't.
so,
I wouldn't want to be there as much. Funny enough, we had planned on being there this year had the pandemic not hit. We wanted Miami last year. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, and we didn't. But we said, well, we got Tampa this year because Florida's one of our places. Shout out to Florida. We love Florida. We're down there often, more than anywhere else actually. But with the pandemic, we've been kind of like ducking Florida a little bit just because right now, it's been a hot spot and it's sad, but we love Florida. And we definitely had planned on being down there. You'd have been seeing us covering, a lot of the hoopla down there, what was going on, and just enjoying ourselves. That was the plan. That was definitely the destination. If you guys follow our destinations, that was scheduled. But yeah, it's unfortunate with the pandemic. So, again, we all have to sacrifice and make adjustments, I'd rather be alive than cheering for a team in person. Like I'm not desperate to die cheering for a Super Bowl. I mean, I can cheer at home, That's how I feel. So I just, hope that everybody's going to take their precautions and definitely don't do anything crazy. Like I said, avoid large crowds, large parties, do anything that you can to stay safe. That's the main thing. That's our goal. And I'm hoping that it's yours,
Yeah.
But that's what I would encourage people to do. And again, follow the science. If you want to get your vaccine when you're able to. And I would encourage people to just, try to do the right thing. Spread some love, not virus, not drama, not hate. Come on, people. Let's make 2021 a good year. 2020 was very challenging. We understand. Let's try to, see some light at the end of the tunnel for 2021. I'm hoping that everyone will definitely have a better year. I mean, pandemic, that's no one's fault. But guess what? Like, you can help do your part by trying to, like I said, not spread and try to, help us fight it, So on that note, I don't know any other questions or any comments, but just, checking out the chat now, it seems like we have a lot of people that are agreeing with us. So thank you for all those who did tune in and, are basically nodding and agreeing, to what we've had to say. Not that we're experts, but hey, we do know something.
Yeah.
Anything else for you to add or at this moment or
Not at this time.
no? Okay. Well, I do. This lemonade, listen, Simply Lemonade Electric. Oh my God, it's so good. It's wonderful. Hey, let's have another one. It's almost gone, but cheers to the new year.
New Year's, and hopefully a very healthy and
yes, safe.
healthy. So yeah, that was what I was looking for. Healthy and safe New Year, and we can definitely get back to what we want to do for the
Yes.
for this year.
Definitely, hopefully before it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. You've been here tuned in with who? Who are we?
Team Us 2K.
Team Us 2K. So on that note, stay safe, stay well, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. And we're out. Thank you.